Ever get that feeling? Like when you hit snooze, but it's not really you making that choice.
Yeah, I know that feeling, like something's pulling you back under the covers.
Exactly. Turns out Iranian folklore has a name for that.
Ooh, okay. I'm intrigued.
Welcome back to Iranian Things, everyone. It's episode 113. I'm Q Mars.
And I'm Tannaz, ready to delve into another fascinating deep dive.
Today we're talking about Bushasp. She's this, well, you could call her a demon, kind of, but she's also tied to dreams.
Wait, a dream demon? That's a new one.
Right. It's super interesting. And the word Bushasp, get this, it actually has two meanings.
Okay, lay it on me.
So it refers to this entity that makes you sleepy, but it also just means dreams in general.
Whoa, that's kind of deep. Two sides of the same coin, maybe.
Yeah.
Like the temptation to sleep and then the world of dreams itself.
You got it. But before we get too lost in dreamland, let's back up a bit. Who or what is Bushasp exactly?
Okay, so in Iranian mythology, we've got these beings called divs. They're usually seen as like forces of darkness, not exactly the good guys.
Right, the classic mythological baddies.
Exactly. And Bushasp is one of them. She's known as Dareghō, which means the one with long hands.
Okay, now that's a little creepy. Long hands reaching out from the shadows.
Right. You have to wonder what she's grabbing for while we sleep.
Okay, let's not dwell on that. So where does this story even come from? Like, where do we find Bushasp in Iranian lore?
For this one, we got to go to the Avesta. It's like the primary collection of Zoroastrian texts. They're sacred scriptures, you could say.
The Avesta, serious stuff.
Yeah.
And Bushasp is in there.
Yep. Specifically in the Vendidad, the section all about purity and demons. It's like a whole chapter on how to deal with these not-so-nice supernatural beings.
So what does it actually say about Bushasp? Does it, tell us her whole life story?
Well, not exactly a biography, but there's this really interesting story in the 18th Fargard. Every morning, when the rooster crows, signaling the arrival of Srasha, the angel of conscience.
Yeah, like a wake-up call for good deeds.
Exactly. But Bushasp, she tries to keep humans asleep. It's like this battle between the rooster saying, time to get up and be good, and Bushasp whispering, just 5 more minutes.
She's like the original snooze button. I mean, we all know that feeling, right? The temptation to just stay in bed, even when we have stuff to do.
Oh, for sure. It's that voice that tells you to put off your responsibilities, even if it's just for a little bit.
But I gotta say, sometimes maybe a little Bushasp isn't so bad. Like, what if we're actually burnt out and our bodies really do need that extra rest?
Yeah, good point. Maybe it's not always about being lazy. It's about listening to what our bodies and maybe even our minds need.
Right. Sometimes sleep is self-care. And this kind of brings us back to that double meaning of Bushasp. She's not just a temptation to sleep, she's also dreams themselves. So maybe it's in our dreams that we work through those desires, figure out what we really need.
Ooh, I like that. Dreams as a space to process those urges so we don't necessarily act on them in the real world.
Exactly. And think about the rooster, too. He's not just a random farm animal. In so many cultures, the rooster is a symbol of vigilance, of spiritual awakening.
Yeah, he's like the herald of a new day, a new start.
So maybe we can see Bushasp as this embodiment of temptation, right? And the rooster is that voice pushing us toward growth, toward being better.
It's like this epic battle playing out every morning, inside each of us.
This is why I love this stuff. It's just one figure from Iranian folklore, but it sparks all these questions about human nature, about good and bad, and about what's going on in our heads when we sleep. What do you guys think? Hit us up in the comments with your interpretations.
Yeah, let's get a conversation going. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up.
It really does help the show.
Yeah.
Now, if you're craving more deep dives into Iranian mythology, check out our playlist on mythical creatures. We did a whole episode on the Simurgh, this majestic bird with healing powers. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Iranian Things. Until next time, sleep well. And don't let Bushasp win every time.
Unless you really need it.
True, true.